Hey, it's Dr. Allen here at Evolve Chiropractic. I got Sal here, and he's going to help me out teaching you guys some hip flexor stretches. So basically there's two variations to the hip flexor stretch depending on what muscle we're trying to stretch. You're just going to change it up a little bit. So basically the first one we're going to do is designed to stretch the deep hip flexor muscle called your iliopsoas. Basically it's the muscle that originates way up in the lumbar spine, and it's going to pass through your pelvis and insert onto your hip bone on your femur. So to stretch that muscle, basically you're going to get into a lunge type position. So when you're in this position, you're going to have your foot out, a little bit out in front of your knee so that you have some room to stretch. So as you come forward, you're going to keep your chest up, head up nice and neutral, and you're going to go forward as far as you can until you start to feel some pressure in the front of the hip. Now to dial this stretch in, you're going to actually take your tailbone and you're going to tuck your tailbone underneath you like this. So as you tuck that tailbone underneath, you're actually going to apply a little bit more stretch into that hip flexor muscle. So a good video to watch if this is a difficult move for you is the pelvic tilting video, where it teaches you how to kind of tuck your tailbone under and relax. So that's basically that movement you're going to pull into. So as you're pulling forward, you gently tuck your tailbone underneath. Make sure the chest stays up nice and tall, and you're going to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. So the variation on this stretch is actually going to be to stretch a muscle called the rectus femoris. Now that muscle attaches on the knee here, and it comes up onto the hip. And it's one of the only quadricep group muscles that actually crosses the hip and acts as a hip flexor as well. So if you're stuck sitting in a chair all day, the iliopsoas and the rectus femoris, they kind of get stuck in a locked, shortened position. So to stretch this one, instead of lunging all the way forward, you're going to bring that foot back, kind of stack it underneath your knee there, and you're going to bring the back leg up about 12 inches or so up onto the wall. So this is going to increase that stretch on the front of the quad there. So you'll feel it in a little bit different area. You might feel it a little bit lower down here, but it'll still kind of travel up into the front of the hip. Now while you're here, the main thing you're going to do is really dial in, tuck that tailbone underneath as you lift your chest up nice and tall. Now another way you can increase the stretch here is by reaching the same side arm all the way up, because that rectus femoris muscle is actually going to blend into your rectus abdominis muscle. So if we can engage a little bit of lifting and lengthening there, you're going to increase the stretch and make it a little bit more effective. So same thing on this one, you're going to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. I would suggest doing these on both sides just to keep things balanced out. So if you have any questions on this one, it's a really effective stretch, especially if you're sitting around all day in a chair at a computer and you're getting some low back pain. Try this out. Hopefully it does a great job for you. So have fun with this one. Ask me any questions, let me know, and yeah, we'll see you soon.